Okay. Okay, hello? Hello? Right. I usually don't make very impromptu blogs like this, but today I think I need to, because what happened is just too weird. So this morning I had to be up early to see a meeting and that. Long story short, I just had to meet with some people, because, due to just like support meetings and that, because, just stuff for my future and that, and because I'm in a bad place at the moment recently, especially because, so this morning I've had to go with this meeting, not in the best of spirits, but, so my dad drove me there. We were in the white van. My dad was driving me up to this meeting, so it was like, we're in the top of this hill area, loads of houses, basically it was a suburban area, when I swear to God this is completely true, my dad suddenly came to a screeching halt. I wondered why, and next thing you know, a massive male peacock flew in front of us, like very healthy, blue as the Aegean Sea, and with a long train of tail feathers on the sunny day. I still see it so vividly. It's like it was actually this peacock right in front of us, and there was no need for it to be there. No peacock's ever been seen in that area before. It was like he just showed up right out of nowhere. You can tell this is why I don't do impromptu vocal things, because this is just surreal. You can tell I'm still like in shock about it. It's like, because my friends and I will know this. Like anyone in the dynasty will know. Any Shen hens, well done, I believe, for thinking that up. We know like this haunting quality of peacocks that keeps following us, and I've had so many incidents myself, and I've had to talk about this one because it's only just happened today, like a couple hours ago. And it was like, let's see, I'll try and count it. Just this peacock just flew out in front of us, and it seemed to be wandering these streets, even though it had no business being there. It was never seen there before, and even when on the way back, we still didn't see him. It was like he disappeared. It was like, I even told the person I was in the meeting with about this, because I was so freaked out and just amazed. And she even told me about an incident she had where she was driving along and she thought she saw something in a tree. Then she stopped in the car and was like, hang on, did I just see what I thought I saw in that tree? And she drove back and she saw this giant peacock in the trees. And she thought that was surreal because it's like, she described it as magical, like they're such magical creatures to the point where it's like shocking when you see them. It's almost like seeing a unicorn. Why have I compared them to that? It's like, but you know what I mean. Like anyone who's a fan of peacocks and is part of the Shen dynasty will know what I'm on about, because we know this haunting quality of them quite too well. And she said another incident where she came further along and she said her car was surrounded by 20 odd peacocks. Can you imagine that, being surrounded by 20 odd peacocks? That would be amazing. But she says because there was a farm that bred them. That's why she got that incident. But this was right in the middle of town. They're not exactly common town birds, are they? No way, I think that could house them, but I mean, maybe it's right. After all, this is the northeast, so we've got plenty of countryside surrounding our towns and that, but not peacocks. That's just too weird. Especially since he just nearly got hit by us. Like, thank goodness for my dad for being so sharp in that. Then again, you could not miss this thing. He was just so beautiful. Like, his feathers looked as smooth as silk, not a single imperfection or feather out of place. Like this bright royal blue, so gorgeous, and this long shimmering train feathers. He was so big, like with this, everything. Oh, and the way he just flew out right in front of us. It was just unreal. Just like an average Indian blue one. It was surreal. Actually, now that I think about it, it was kind of funny because he turned around and like as soon as, because I saw him, had to stop for a bit because and also there was these old ladies at the side on the footpath. I remember seeing the reactions quite well because they thought we were going to hit this peacock and they were like, like they're gasping, they're covering their mouths and that, so shocked. I think they were shocked to see a peacock there as much as we were. Like, and he just continued after he flew out of the way of us. Like, we weren't close to hitting the peacock. Dad stopped just in time, and sorry, God knows what I sound like when I'm rambling, but he stopped just at this corner of the street, going into these other area of houses, and they turned around to look at us and just sort of let out this call. I totally didn't hear him because I was just Because at that time I was just going, what the shit, what the, is that what the fuck? Just that, and that, I was just freaking out. Anyway, so I saw him turn his head around and look at us and let out a screech. Which is actually kind of funny to me, because I imagine he was probably cursing at us for nearly running him over. Because I can imagine him saying, "Tosser! Fucking assholes!" Because, come on, he's in Britain, of course that's what he said. It was just so surreal. Just like a normal town area, and he just showed up, came right out of nowhere. The person I was in the meeting with and my mum takes this as a good omen. Because it's not the first time this has happened to me. Like, on my very last day of college, we were going to... It was an area where I was in rather low spirits because, well, I just finished college and I didn't know what I was going from there. So I just felt lost. So, next thing we know, as we were just about to go... It was in an area where there's like KFC, Iceland and all that. Not a country area. We see a lot of wildlife. And we looked over... And I swear to God, there were these 2 peahens in our view path right next to the road. We tried to pull over to get a closer look, but then they flew away. We asked a local fella what they were about, and he said they've never been seen there before, and I've checked, they've never been there since. They just showed up, and then as soon as I got a good look at them, they went away. It's like, as I don't really, I'm not one to believe in all these mystical signs and that, but it is not more than a little weird how these creatures sort of keep showing up and haunting us. Like, they are following us all the time, isn't it? Something because, oh God, I should really not record things when I haven't got a script. But yeah, it was like, I suppose if I was the type, I could take this as a good omen. I certainly hope so. I mean, you'd have to have been there. It's like, just imagine in a town area where you live, and suddenly a peacock just pulls out in front of you without any reason. And honestly, this one, he was so beautiful. And I've had so many incidents, we've all had so many incidents like this where we've had these peacocks follow us. In fact, I should really do that. I should really make a video recounting some other past peacock memories, because I've told you about the one with the 2 peahens on my last day of college. So yeah, I better stop now before I ramble on further, and maybe make another video in the future to count those memories, because we've all talked about them. Like, I know Cookies and Abby have all spoken about these in detail, so it might behoove me to talk about them myself as well. I better think, is there anything I'm missing about today that I should say? Oh yeah, especially since I order a lot of stuff, and the book that came this morning is called Peacock on the Roof, which is like a children's storybook, but it's quite lovely because I'm just collecting anything I can with peacocks at this point. So that came this morning, which I didn't expect it to, because it was supposed to arrive anywhere between the 12th and 25th. So it came today, and so I got that book today, then that peacock just showed up in front of me when I was taking that rather important meeting. It was just so weird. But yeah, I better save, if I have any further thoughts, I better save it for later. I hope you're all having a nice day. Ta-ra. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how'd it go?
It went quite well.
Brilliant. And
You will not believe what just happened to me before we pulled in. We're just around the top bank area, the top of the hill, where all the streets and that are. Just like where I get my gas and electric. That corner shop. It's the bottom of that hill in that neighbourhood.
Yeah, what happened?
So my dad suddenly came to a screeching halt when I looked, and I swear, I shit thee not, a massive blue male peacock flew in front of us.
Fuck off.
I will not. I'm honest to God, it was real. It was it was completely healthy, full feathers and everything, flew in front of us. It was in the middle of these streets.
Big peacock shot in front of you.
Yep. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, hanging around you, auntie.
yeah, you could say that.
Oh. She's got 100 peacock feathers in a big bag.
Yeah, I was honest to God. I was like, it was like in the middle of this town area. What was it doing there? We didn't know what. We tried to look for.
What's the same one that just keeps going round and round that area, man? It'll just go where it wants.
Yeah, they tend to.
We'll have to get you a couple.
I can't. I don't have the right. But I don't have the right place to keep peacocks and that.
True. Oh, well, that's so exciting, isn't it? Another moment. I remember the last one.
Yep. How can I forget the two PNs that showed up? It was like, honestly, just like flew right in front of us. It was like, he was beautiful. Like honestly, he was. He was so beautiful, and he was freaking huge and all.
Good omen, darling. Good omen.
If I'm lucky, yeah. Certainly needed one.